a little bit of a chaotic Monday since the US credit rating went from a AAA to AA1. If you don't know what it means, we'll explain that later, but this has reflected negatively on cryptocurrencies and futures for the stock market. And when this video comes out, the market will be already closed, that most likely have caused a little bit of a chaos in the financial markets. So let's take a look at our currencies, at some news, and let's see what we can do about all of these in today's video. Let's get right into it. So let's start with crypto. Bitcoin is down a little bit from the $105,000 that it reached this weekend. We're now at 102,344. Ethereum at 2,395. XRP at 229, BNB at 636, Solana at 160. So that being said, the fear and greed is still at 71, but I think that today or tomorrow we should see that number going down, maybe to 68. That is my guess. Looking at the copy trading, we are at 1.85%. So we have 5 days to go to complete a full year of the zero-DTE strategy. And this full year of the copy trading, we've made 86.9, so 87% on your money. If you had stayed with us for 1 year, you would have made 87%, which is fantastic and cannot be found anywhere else. So this is a call to action for you to actually go into Bitopics and take a look at the copy trading deposit there if you don't want to miss out on these huge returns. So now by looking at Bitcoin, we can see that it is still trading. It went out of this range, this box that it was constrained in, which has a top of around 105,000 and a bottom of around $101,500. So you can take a look right here that went all the way to $107,000. But after that, we dropped very, very fast, but still inside this range right here, which is not the case for Ethereum. You see Ethereum was ranging. We actually broke above it right here in May 13th, May 14th. But yesterday we had a huge spike followed by a huge drop in price. And now we are below this range right here. If we are not able to show that we have the strength to get back into it, then most likely it's going to be not so great for Ethereum in the next upcoming hours. For Solana, same thing. We were inside this pattern with a breakout right here, the same date as Ethereum's. Then we had a huge movement yesterday, and now we are below the range that we were before. If you remember, we have a fallback of 130. So 130 is a little bit of a cushion zone for us. If we end up going down on Solana, that is our fallback number for Solana. But now the closest one that we could see would be around 154, 155, because we have the 200 moving average right here, and that almost corresponds a little bit with the top of this channel right here, which should stop Solana at this range right here, but we would have to wait it out and see. Now, if we look at futures for the US market, which is not open yet, you may notice that the US 500 is down 1%, the Tech 100 1.52, small cap 2000 1.43, and the US 30.59. So we will see a gap when the market opens. It's going to be a gap below the last price on Friday, as we're seeing here from the futures. But usually when we had huge gaps like these, they usually tend to fill up and close the gap because the market just opens with a lot of panic and then throughout the day kind of just rests. So I don't know if that will also be shown right here on cryptocurrencies, if they're already taking the hit because of the news, as you can see from these 1, 2, 3, 4 candles that had a huge amount of movement up and down and then up and down again. So I don't know if crypto already suffered everything that it had to do, and now we just have to wait for the stock market to kind of fill that gap again, and crypto will also move up as well, but we'll have to wait and see. So for me personally, no trading today, waiting to see what happens and what comes out at the market, if any news come out or anything related to these price movements. And now talking a little bit more about why this is dropping is because the US credit was valued less safe than it was before. So a credit rating agency, which is a private agency that gives credit scores to treasuries, to credits, to everything in the financial system, that could be bonds, that could be stocks, whatever. These assets tend to have a rating, and usually AAA is one of the best, one of the safest things for you to invest your money in. And the US credit has been a AAA rating for more than 100 years, and now it has dropped to an AA1, which is below the previous rating, and that has put a little bit of a panic in the markets, and that is mainly due to the huge amount of deficit that the US government is running in, and because Trump is almost done with the sweeping tax bill, which is estimated to add between $3 and $5 trillion to the national debt over a decade. So that puts the deficit of the US even higher, in even a worse position than what it is already. And that is not good, because when you operate in a deficit, you're taking in money, you're borrowing money, and and eventually you have to pay this money back to banks, countries, governments, all these sorts of things. And the higher this debt is, the higher and more expensive everything will get in the US. And that is not good for the economy, not good for actually the whole world. So all of this is now going to be the next chaos as we approach a House vote this week still. So most likely we'll see volatility and movement in the markets as we see what Trump and the House of Representatives will decide regarding this matter. So again, even when wars are slowing down, there's peace treaties, there's peace talk all over the place, still Trump or the US finds a way to screw us over and screw the whole market over. So not the first, not the last time this happens, but personally, I will not trade today. Just wait it out, see how the volatility, see how the stock market reacts, because that affects also cryptocurrencies, gold, everything else. So I hope this was insightful for you. And if you enjoyed and if you liked, comment down below. What do you think will happen this week? I think we will have a rough week, maybe not even just because it is going to go down a lot, but because we're going to be having a lot of huge movements on the upside and the downside, and that will liquidate quite some people on both sides. So hopefully I'm wrong and we have a peaceful week. But again, I want to hear your comments, so leave them down below. Thank you so much. I'll see you guys on Wednesday for another video. Take care.